This is the brand new Motorola Moto Z. This and the Moto Z Force are the new Motorola flagships for 2016. Currently they're exclusive to Verizon, and the big selling point here is the modular pieces that attach in this dock right here. Now, I've always been a fan of Motorola. My first smartphone was Motorola. My second, I went to a Sony. And the third was my Droid Turbo, which I did not like at all. So, this is coming off a phone that I hated by Motorola, and one that I hopefully enjoy, and you'll find out my verdict here. So, another selling point is this is crazy thin. It is 0.2 inches thick. I can't remember that in millimeters, it's like 5.10. I'm not sure if that's including the camera hump, but it's even thinner than it looks on camera. The camera hump is pretty pronounced, and I'm not sure what Motorola is doing here. No one liked the look of the flat tire on the Moto 360, there's no need to replicate it. But it houses a dual tone flash, and a 13 megapixel camera on the regular Moto Z, which I have here. The Force has a 21 megapixel camera, and that one includes phase detection. They both have optical image stabilization and laser autofocus. The back right here is metal, I assume aluminum. The phone rattles, which is interesting. The top and bottom panels are glass. The entire front of the phone is glass. It's a 5.5 inch 1440 by 2560 screen. You have a very responsive fingerprint scanner. You can register it up to 5 fingers. Let me turn down the brightness a tad bit. It doesn't act as a home button. You have software home buttons, or software navigation buttons. This acts as a replacement power button. On the side, we have a power button which is ridged. Interestingly, the volume buttons are above the power button, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I've already gotten used to it. And this is a launch day phone. I haven't even had it a full day. They are also pretty small, as they have to be for such a thin phone, but it's not that big of a deal. On the top, we have a SIM card slot, which also houses a SD card, micro SD, and that's up to 2 terabytes. Little antenna band there, microphone. Nothing on this side. The bottom we have a USB-C port, and if you've noticed, there is no headphone jack. It does come with a USB-C to 3.5mm adapter, and we'll get onto that later. So, in the box, it comes with a free wood panel. As you can see, it's very fingerprinted up already. Not a huge fan of that. It's either fingerprinted back of this or fingerprinted this. But you slap this on, magnets hold it into place. You no longer have a camera bump. The phone's not much thicker. It's a lot more comfortable to hold this way. I'm not a fan of the looks, but functionality is pretty good. A lot of people say it's hard to take off these Moto mods, but if you have any form of fingernail, all you do is just slide it in there and you pry it off. On the front, we have a 5 megapixel camera right there with a selfie flash, earpiece which acts as the speaker, and the display I said was a 5.5 inch 1440 by 2560. It's beautiful. It's AMOLED. Colors are very pretty. Full brightness, plenty bright. It looks good in the sun. Minimum brightness isn't that low, but it should be just fine for most people. So, Best Buy has a really good deal on this right now. If you're interested in this phone or the Force at all, and I'm not sponsored by Best Buy or anything, I just happened to see this deal, so I went to Best Buy and got it because I was going to get the phone today anyway. Both the Z and the Z Force are $200 cheaper than on Verizon, so this was $428. This is the 32 gigabyte variant. There's also a 64 gigabyte variant. I'm not sure if that qualifies for the deal or not. But with that, you get $200 off, and you get the free JBL speaker Moto mod, which we'll demo in a minute. So, you may be asking yourself if you want the Z or the Z Force. The only difference is this is thicker, or thinner. It has a 2500 milliamp hour battery, 2600, scratch that. The Z-Force has a 3500. The Z-Force is slightly thicker, it's 0.8 inches, or 0.08 inches thicker. It has the shadow shield, so the display is shadowproof. Basically just means it has a plastic layer over it. I don't want that because it scratches really easily. And it theoretically has a better camera. It has a 21 megapixel camera compared to this with phase detection. So, on to my complaints. This is the charger that comes in the box. It's USB-C, so I don't have any USB-C cables. This is just a wall plug, so I have no way to put this onto my computer. I can't put anything from my computer onto this at the moment. Another complaint, no 3.5 millimeter jack, but that's not a huge deal seeing as how they give you an adapter in the box. And the headphone sound playback is actually very good. Very pleased with that. I was pleased with it on the Turbo, but this just one-ups that. Interface and functionality are pretty much stock Android. The only difference I can really notice is it has a vertical app drawer compared to a horizontal one, which I'm not a fan of. I might change that later. Also, you have the typical slight Motorola additions, such as this clock widget, which is helpful. You also have Motorola Connect. You can make your own voice command instead of OK Google. And your typical Verizon bloatware. Specifications I didn't really get much into, but I will now. It has a Snapdragon 820, a 4 gigabytes of RAM. That's all I believe I didn't get into. So you shouldn't expect any problems with performance. And right here we're just going to play some music for you with the built-in speaker, which is front-facing, compared to the JBL. So I'll go up to full volume. Alright, and we'll rewind. And we're going to slap off this Moto mod here. Reveal the bare back. And on this, the speaker, there's the USB-C charger right there. This is an indicator of whether or not you have power. Same thing, you just slap this on. This one's actually easier to get off. It does make the phone very thick, but it's actually still very comfortable to hold. And it has a kickstand on the back. So, this sounds significantly better, as you could imagine. A lot more bass, which I'm not a huge fan of bass. This is full volume here. Turn it down, that's too loud. Now I'll turn it back up to full volume here in a second. So this is regularly an $80 accessory, but if you go to Best Buy and get this phone, I'm not sure how long they're running the deal, but it's definitely worth it if you were planning on getting this especially. And the other Moto models they have battery packs. They have a projector one, but that's $300. The battery ones, I believe, run from anywhere to $50 to $80. There's some with wireless charging. Overall, I'm very impressed with this phone so far. The build quality is just excellent. Coming from the Turbo, that's a huge change. The battery life seems pretty good so far. I can't really attest to it since I haven't even had it a full day, but the Turbo's battery life was just awful, and this is only 2/3 the size, and it seems to be better. And the cameras, I really can't tell if this is better than the Turbo. The camera software is definitely better, but it definitely seems good. But on the front, everything seems like too sharp, or not sharp, and like smoothed. Like if I take a picture, I'll do one with flash. Like, I don't know, the picture just doesn't seem very pleasing in any way. If it'll even want to rotate. I think I have it on, yeah, portrait only. I don't know, it just seems very like watercolory. The gesture is from previous Motorola devices stay. They're just more reliable now, that's pretty cool. Flash is very bright, dual tone. So if you're looking for a new phone fan of Motorola or just on Verizon looking to get a good deal, I definitely recommend this to anyone at the moment. If I have any issues, I'm gonna make an update video anyway to attest to on-running issues, battery life, and so on. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the review. And if you just want a Moto Z, I honestly recommend going to Best Buy as long as the deal runs. Thank you guys for watching.